Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad Hughesby, and today I will be bringing you guys the 2024 defensive recruiting target board. We'll start with the defensive linemen. These kids are coming from all over the country, and maybe some really talented kids on here too. I'll start in the top left with Arizona product Elijah Russian. He is from South Point Catholic in Tucson, Arizona. Oregon seems to be the leader. At least that's what I've been seeing. Um, Back in the fall, there was some buzz around the Ducks and him, but of course, new coaching staff could change some things around. Dan Lanning, I know, has done a pretty good job recruiting, though, up in Eugene. Notre Dame is up there. I bet some of those, like a USC offer, maybe mean something. Some of those SEC schools, I'm not sure if they've offered yet, but right now I see Oregon and India in the top, just like the RPM on three indicates. He was on campus a few weeks ago, has a good relationship with Al Washington. He was also on campus in the fall. I forget what game he attended. It might have been the Purdue game, but he was on campus in the fall for sure. So big time target to watch there. Marquise Lightfoot, a Chicago kid, Kenwood Academy, usually known for their basketball, but here we go. We have a football player from Kenwood. Has some nice offers, a lot of Midwest local schools. If Notre Dame pushes, I think they could definitely land him, but I'm not sure they will. They're probably going to land a five-man defensive line class in 2023. Why would you take a bunch of other guys in 2024? Numbers are going to be tighter. These kids want minutes too, so I don't expect Marquise Lightfoot to end up in this class. Next, Justin Scott. Justin Scott is a big-time player, five-star, number 3 overall player according to On3 in 2024. There's a lot of hype around Justin Scott. He's big. He can play the interior. I mean, he's warranting so much hype. He's rated a 5-star. So the sky's the limit for this kid. He's only been playing football since his freshman year. He used to be a basketball player, also played a little bit of soccer and volleyball. So the athleticism's there. We'll see what happens. He could still continue to grow. He's a young kid too. But right now, I don't think there are any clear leaders in this recruitment. So don't buy that Wisconsin 50%. I highly doubt he ends up at Wisconsin. Nigel Smith is next. High 4-star from Texas. There was a video back in the fall of him receiving his first offer from Notre Dame while at practice. I remember that went around the Notre Dame fan base a little bit. That was a really, really cool video. This kid is pretty much blown up. Ohio State's offered. Texas has offered a bunch of other schools. I'm a big fan of Nigel Smith. I think he'd be a take no matter what. So, we'll see what happens in his recruitment. Now, to finish off with the defensive lineman, you have your two commits, Brandon Davis-Swain and Owen Walfel. Both guys locked in, yada, yada. I expect them both on campus sometime this summer or fall, just connecting and meeting new people, maybe doing some recruiting of their own. Brandon Davis-Swain, I think, is one of the more talented players in the country. I'm a big fan of his game. Owen Walfel, this is no shade at him. I'm just not a huge Owen Walfel fan. I was a little surprised that Notre Dame actually took his commitment a few weeks ago. Not throwing any shade at him. He's old. He's very old for his grade. He reclassified. He should be a junior right now, a 2023 kid. His offer list didn't pop out at me. But we'll see. Notre Dame knows more than I do. But I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. I'm a big fan of Brandon Davis-Swain, but I'm not a crazy fan of Owen Walfel. And then Adarius Haynes will start us off with the linebackers. He's a kid from Largo, Florida. Adarius Haynes, this kid can fly. This is a very, very talented player. I think he warrants his top 50 national ranking. He's ranked 45th on both On3's composite and On3's specific rankings. I think Notre Dame leads here. I believe he's gone on record to say that, actually. He came up to South Bend for the spring game, loved it. He's a Notre Dame kid as well, values his academics, well put together young man. So I think ND leads. Not sure they'll land him. There are definitely going to be some SEC schools hunting him down, but we shall see. Kingston Villamamu, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. I've never said his name before. Just got off of a pretty nasty leg injury. He's getting back to playing. I believe he played in the St. John Bosco spring game. Good buddies with Peyton Woodyard. He's a safety for St. John Bosco. They both came into town for the spring game on April 23rd. I don't know what's going to happen in this recruitment. He has some heavy hitters after him, such as USC, Oregon, Ohio State, and others. But we shall see. Notre Dame likes him a lot. Now, a few more linebacker prospects. We have Anthony Specca. This one seemed like a slam dunk early for Notre Dame, but if they end up taking 3 linebackers in 2023, I'm not sure how many they'll take in 2024. Jordan Hall, 2023 linebacker from IMG Academy, just scheduled an official visit to the Irish, and Jaden Osbury is locked in with one as well. Speck is a talented player, but I don't think he's blown up as much as some expected. And then Xavier Hamilton is next. Very talented kid. I think ND leads here. Has some SEC schools after him, but I expect him to come up sometime this fall, maybe even the summer, for an unofficial visit. And then Quentin Martin. This kid, in my opinion, is just a freak. I think this kid is maybe the best player in the country. I am all over Quentin Martin. He's an athlete. He can play linebacker or safety, wide receiver. He can play a lot of positions. Penn State leads right now. I think he ends up at Penn State. They tend to keep those kids home, but this kid's a special, special talent. And then Emmett Mosley is next. His parents are ND grads, both played sports in Notre Dame. I believe his mom played soccer and his pop's football. Goes to an ND school in Santa Margarita Catholic in Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Elite private school down in SoCal. Has some nice other offers, but I think this one's ND's to lose. Next, we'll head to the safeties. Yes, I put safeties over corners. I'm sorry. But some of these guys could end up playing corner. So Mike Matthews, listed as an athlete on 3. I think he's more of a safety. Can even play some wide receiver too. George at ND, probably his top 2. Values academics, you see Tech and Stanford there. But Notre Dame's Chris O'Leary and company love these Georgia safeties. You see Caleb Downs. I mean, you see hopefully Caleb Downs ends up at Notre Dame. That will be a tough pull, though, for sure. But you see guys like Kyle Hamilton coming out of Georgia. They almost got Jake Pope last year. They have a bunch of Georgia talent on the team. J.D. Bertrand is another guy from the Deion Colsey, Jaden Thomas. So they're recruiting Georgia heavy, and Mike Matthews is just another product from Georgia. Marquise Gallegos, I like ND here. I think they lead. USC won't go down without a fight. He's a talented player. I think he's better than his 305th national ranking. But Notre Dame likes him a lot. That is for sure. Kaj Sanders, next, Bergen Catholic kid. Excuse me, I need some water. Teammates with Steve Angeli, Jaden Bellamy, all those guys last year. He has some nice offers. Penn State, Rutgers, Notre Dame, BC are all very involved here. He's a 4-star consensus at 240. Early in his recruitment, we'll see what happens, but I think ND will be a major player. Bergen Catholic's coaches love Notre Dame. Notre Dame has shown a lot of love to this school, so all those impressions will definitely make a difference. And then Ricardo Jones, one of the more talented players in the country, ranked 33rd overall according to On3. This kid's a stud. Really, really big fan of this kid. I think he's a 5-star, 6'3", 190. Another Georgia kid. He's from Warner Robins outside of Atlanta. I believe Georgia's offered, but I'm not certain. I expect a Georgia offer would mean a lot to one of these Atlanta kids. Same with Mike Matthews, but he does have a Georgia offer. I'm just not sure on Ricardo Jones. We'll see what happens early in his prospect. Notre Dame's hoping to get him up this summer or fall. And then for the safeties. Quick note, Caleb Beasley and Eli Bowen are actually corners. I just included them here. But Bobo Traore, this is a kid I think Notre Dame can land. If I had to put a pick in, I'd put it in for the Irish. He's teammates with Don Schuler. And something that is incredibly not talked about, or just something that Notre Dame fans need to realize, is how the Notre Dame coaching staff connects with these kids' coaches. Don Schuler's coaches are the biggest ND fans, and that's because of Marcus Freeman and Chad Bowden. They recruited some of their Irvington kids while they were at Cincinnati. They carried that relationship over. Mike Mickens included in that group. These relationships with the coaches and the coaching staffs is just so important. And a kid like Traore, I think that will make a big difference. So I think ND lands him. Peyton Woodyard is next. Kyle Hamilton's second cousin. We've talked about him for, I feel like, a year by now. I expect him to make an early decision. I think Notre Dame sits at the top. He'll be in Columbus for the Ohio State ND game. And I also wouldn't be shocked if he ends up on Notre Dame's campus sometime this summer. I doubt it. He was on campus last summer. He came back in the fall. He was back for the spring game. But maybe sometime this fall he'll come for a game. Maybe a game like the Clemson game. one of those bigger games, Stanford game, etc. Now for the two corners, Caleb Beasley, another freak, plays for Trent Dilfer at Lipscomb Academy down in Nashville. Notre Dame, I think, leads here. He really wanted to get to campus, but I believe he was sick with the flu or something, maybe COVID, for the spring game, so he wasn't able to make it up to South Bend. But he's a big fan of what Mike Mickens has going on in the cornerbacks room, and he loves Marcus Freeman. And then Eli Bowen is next. Oklahoma and India, the top two here, in my opinion. A little bit of a shorter prospect at 5'10", but this dude's a ball hawk. Caught 10 interceptions as a junior in the highest level of football out in the country in Texas. Those kids are different. So that's production right there. And that's all you can ask for as a sophomore in high school. I hope he grows a few more inches, but regardless, I'd take him. I think he's good enough as a D1 Power 5 corner. A lot of people doubt him because of his size, but I don't. I think Eli Bowen's the real deal. He's a chip on his shoulder, and I hope Notre Dame goes all out to get him. And then I believe that's it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions, and that's it for me. Peace.